Acharya Thakur. Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kahashonatan Kahadasa Ragu Nata Patita Havan Kaha Moda Bhatta Juga Kaha Kaviraj Ikakale Kota Gila Gora Nataraj Pashane Kujibo Mata Anale Pashibo Gauranga Gunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pabo Sheshaba Shangira Shange Je Koilo Vilas Sheshangana Paya Kande Narotamadas That personality who delivered the treasure of Prema Bhakti, who was so intense with compassion. Where is such a personality to be found as Sri Acharya Thakur, Srinivas Acharya? Where are the saviors of the fallen souls? Where is my Swarup Damodar? And where are Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami? Where is Raghunath Das to be found? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis? Where am I to find Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj now? All at once they have gone to join Lord Gauranga, the great dancer. To reach such a perfect personality as Lord Chaitanya, I can only break my head against the stone in the anguish of separation. They have all gone off together in their own Leela pastimes. Narottam Das Thakur says, unable to obtain their association, I must simply weep. Since I'm reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I ask you to repeat, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gauda Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I'm reading excerpts from 2 chapters in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Anjalila chapter 3, the glories of Srila Haridasa Thakur, and then the chapter dealing with his disappearance. On another occasion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once inquired from Haridasa Thakur, who was known as Brahma Haridas, how the Yavanas, or persons bereft of Vedic culture, would be delivered in Kali Yuga. Haridasa Thakur replied that their deliverance would be possible if they very loudly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra. Everybody, Hare Krishna. Rama Rama. For hearing the Hare Krishna mantra chanted loudly, even with but a little realization, would help them. The chanting of the Lord's holy name, so this is Haridasa Thakur answering Lord Chaitanya. The chanting of the Lord's holy name to indicate something other than the Lord is an instance of namabhas. Even when the holy name is chanted in this way, its transcendental power is not destroyed. Ajamila was a great sinner during his life, but at the time of death, Ajamila accidentally called for his youngest son, whose name was Narayan, and the attendants of Lord Vishnu came to relieve Ajamil from the bonds of Yamaraj, the superintendent of death. If a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, or if it penetrates one's mind or enters one's ear, which is the channel of oral reception, that holy name will certainly deliver one from material bondage, whether vibrated properly or improperly, with correct or incorrect grammar, or properly joined or vibrated in separate parts. O Brahmana, the potency of the holy name is therefore certainly great. However, if one uses the vibration of the holy name for the benefit of the material body, or for material wealth and followers, or under the influence of greed or atheism, in other words, if one utters the name with offenses, such chanting will not produce the desired result very soon. Therefore, one should diligently avoid offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord. The next quote of Haridasa Thakur is also found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. O reservoir of all good qualities, just worship Sri Krishna, the purifier of all purifiers, the most exalted of the personalities worshipped by choice poetry. Worship Krishna with a faithful, unflinching mind, without duplicity, and in a highly elevated manner. Thus, worship the Lord, whose name is like the sun. For just as a slight appearance of the sun dissipates the darkness of night, so a slight appearance of the holy name of Krishna can drive away all the darkness of ignorance that arises in the heart due to greatly sinful activities performed in previous lives. Another quote from Haridasa Thakur. Even a faint light from the holy name of the Lord can eradicate all reactions of sinful life. After describing this incident, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes how Haridasa Thakur was tested at Benapol, a village near Shantipur. A person named Ramachandra Khan, who was envious of Haridasa Thakur, sent a professional prostitute in an attempt to defame him. But by the mercy of Haridasa Thakur, even the prostitute was delivered. So the story is, the prostitute came 3 nights and she would patiently wait. Haridas would tell her, oh yes, we can enjoy, but I have to first finish my japa. I've made a vow, but now we'll finish very soon. So as soon as I finish, then we can enjoy. But the first night came to an end, and Haridas said, I'm sorry, I could not finish. And the girl came back a second night, same story. And now by the third night, the prostitute was also chanting along with Haridas. Then she fell down and said, I am a prostitute. I was sent by Ramachandra Khan, but now I have become purified by your chanting, by your association. Please deliver me. Haridas said, okay, you stay here. I will go. You wear one cloth and you chant all day and all night. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because of offending a pure Vaishnava, Ramachandra Khan was later cursed by Nityananda Prabhu and ruined. From Benapol, Haridas went to the village known as Chandapur, where he lived at the house of Balaram Acharya. Thereafter, Haridas Thakur was received by brothers known as Hiranya and Govardhana Mujammadar. But in the course of a discussion, he was offended by a caste Brahmin known as Gopal Chakravarti. It was mentioned in that assembly that Haridasa Thakur chanted the holy names of Krishna 300,000 times a day. That's 192 rounds every day. And some of us struggle to chant 16. 192. 3 times 64. Thus, all the learned scholars began to discuss the glories of the holy name. Some of them said that by chanting the holy name, one is freed from the reactions of all sinful life. Others said one is liberated from material bondage. But Haridasa Thakur protested, no, these 2 benedictions are not the true result of chanting the holy name. For actually, by chanting the holy name without offenses, one awakens ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Krishna. Just as the rising sun immediately dissipates all the world's darkness, which is deep like an ocean, so the holy name of the Lord, if chanted once without offenses, dissipates all the reactions of a living being's sinful life. All glories to that holy name of the Lord, which is auspicious for the entire world. Liberation and extinction of the reactions of sinful life are 2 concomitant byproducts of chanting the holy name of the Lord. But Gopal Chakravarti said, if one is not liberated by Namabhas, then you may be certain that I shall cut off your nose. But within 3 days, that Brahmana was attacked by leprosy, and as a result, his highly raised nose melted away and fell off. Haridasa Thakur later left Chandapur and went to the house of Advaita Acharya, where he was tested by Maya Devi herself, the personification of the external energy. She also received his favor by being blessed with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So in a similar fashion as the story of the prostitute, 3 nights Maya Devi come in the night to test Haridas. But Haridas was chanting and he was so fixed. And it was explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj that Maya Devi was exhibiting feminine postures that would bewilder even Lord Brahma. But Haridas was rigidly fixed in his chanting. And after the 3rd night, Maya Devi revealed herself. I am the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I have bewildered everyone except for you. From my husband, Lord Shiva, I received the name Rama. Everybody say. And by that name, I have reached liberation. But now, Haridas, from you, I want this name Krishna. Because this name Krishna gives ecstatic love of Godhead. So Haridasa Thakur initiated Maya Devi. I love this story. Haridasa Thakur, the Diksha Guru of Maya Devi herself. So Maya Devi said, right now, because of the presence of Lord Chaitanya, there is a flood of love of Godhead circulating. Anyone who does not become drowned in that ocean of love of Godhead, that person will not be delivered for millions of kalpas. And the kalpa is a day of Brahma. Somehow or other, because of Prabhupada, we are becoming drowned in that holy name. Everybody chant the holy name. Hare Krishna. Okay, so now we'll go to the disappearance of Haridasa Thakur. One day, Govinda, the personal servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went in great jubilation to deliver the remnants of Lord Jagannath's food to Haridasa Thakur. When Govinda came to Haridas, he saw that Haridas was lying on his back and chanting his rounds very slowly. Govinda said, "Please rise and take your Mahaprasad." But Haridas replied, "No, today I shall observe fasting, for I have not finished chanting my regular number of rounds." Wow. He wouldn't eat until his rounds was done. "How then can I eat? But you have brought Mahaprasad. How can I neglect it?" Because the scriptures state, we learn from the incident of Sarvabhauma and Lord Chaitanya, when Maha comes, you have to take it immediately. Otherwise, it's an offense. You have to immediately take it. Saying this, Haridas offered prayers to the Mahaprasad, took a little portion, and ate it. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Haridas's place and inquired from him, "Haridas, are you well?" Haridas offered obeisances to the Lord and replied, "My body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well." Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further inquired from Haridas, "Can you ascertain what your disease is?" Haridas replied, "My disease is that I cannot complete my rounds." And in the purport, Prabhupada says, yes, anyone who cannot complete the chanting of 16 rounds is to be considered to be in a spiritually diseased condition of life. Then Lord Chaitanya said, Now that you have become old, you may reduce the number of rounds you chant daily. You are already liberated, and therefore you need not follow the regulative principles very strictly. Your role in this incarnation is to deliver the people in general. You have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name in this world. Now, therefore, please reduce the fixed number of times you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Haridasa replied, My Lord, kindly hear my plea. I was born in an inferior family, and my body is most abominable. I always engage in low work. Therefore, I am the lowest, most condemned of men. I am unable, I am unseeable, and untouchable. But you have accepted me as your servant. This means that you have delivered me from a hellish condition and raised me to the Vaikuntha platform. And is that not what Prabhupada has done for us? Has not Prabhupada raised us to the Vaikuntha planet? How much do we owe Srila Prabhupada? Can we repay ever what Prabhupada has done? We can try, but it's impossible. Prabhupada raised us from hell and brought us to the Vaikuntha platform. My dear Lord, you are the fully independent personality of Godhead. You act by your own free will. You cause the whole world to dance and act as you like. My dear Lord, by your mercy, you have made me dance in many ways. For example, I was offered the Shraddha Patra, which should have been offered to first-class brahmanas. I ate from it, even though I was born in a family of meat eaters. I have had one desire for a very long time. I think that quite soon, my Lord, you will bring to a close your pastimes within this material world. I wish that you not show me this closing chapter of your pastimes. Before that time comes, kindly let my body fall down in your presence. I wish to catch your lotus-like feet upon my heart and see your moon-like face. And with my tongue, I shall chant your holy name. Everybody, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That is my desire. Kindly let me give up my body in this way. O most merciful Lord, if by your mercy it is possible, kindly grant my desire. Let this low-born body fall down before you. You can make possible this perfection of all my desires. Lord Chaitanya said, My dear Haridasa, Krishna is so merciful that he must execute whatever you want. But whatever happiness is mine is all due to your association. So it is not fitting for you to go away and leave me behind. Catching the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, Haridasa said, My Lord, do not create an illusion. Although I am so fallen, you must certainly show me this mercy. My Lord, there are many respectable personalities, millions of devotees who are fit to sit on my head. They are all helpful in your pastimes. My Lord, if an insignificant insect like me dies, what is the loss? If an ant dies, where is the loss to the material world? My Lord, you are always affectionate towards your devotees. I am just an imitation devotee. But nevertheless, I wish that you fulfill my desire. That is my expectation. Because he had to perform his noontime duties, Lord Chaitanya got up to leave, but it was settled that the following day, after he saw Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya would return to visit Haridasa Thakur. After embracing Haridas, Lord Chaitanya left to perform his noon duties and went to the sea to take bath. The next morning, after visiting the Jagannath temple, Lord Chaitanya, accompanied by all his devotees, went hastily to see Haridasa Thakur. Lord Chaitanya and the devotees came before Haridas, who offered his respects to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas. Then Lord Chaitanya inquired, "So, my dear Haridas, what is the news?" Haridas replied, "My Lord, whatever mercy you can bestow upon me." Upon hearing this, Lord Chaitanya immediately began great congregational chanting in the courtyard. Vakreshwara Pandit was the chief dancer. Headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami, all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya surrounded Haridas and began congregational chanting. In front of all the great devotees like Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya began to describe the holy attributes of Haridasa Thakur. As he described the transcendental attributes of Haridas, Lord Chaitanya seemed to possess 5 mouths. The more he described, the more his great happiness increased. After hearing of the transcendental qualities of Haridasa Thakur, all the devotees present were struck with wonder. They all offered their respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Haridasa Thakur. Haridas made Lord Chaitanya sit down in front of him, and then he fixed his eyes like 2 bumblebees on the lotus feet of the Lord. Haridas held the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya on his heart, and then took the dust of the feet of all the devotees present and put it on his head. Haridas began to chant the holy name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya again and again. As Haridas drank the sweetness of the face of the Lord, tears constantly glided down from his eyes. And while chanting the holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Haridas gave up his air of life and left his body. Thakur Haridasa ki. Seeing the wonderful death of Haridasa Thakur by his own will, which was just like a great mystic yogi, everyone remembered the passing of Bhishma Dev. There was a tumultuous noise as they all chanted the holy names. Hari! Krishna! Lord Chaitanya became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. The Lord raised the body of Haridas and placed it on his lap. Then Lord Chaitanya began to dance in the courtyard in great ecstatic love. Because of Lord Chaitanya's ecstatic love, all the devotees were helpless, and in ecstatic love they also began to dance and chant congregationally. Lord Chaitanya danced for some time, and then Swarup Damodar informed Lord Chaitanya of other rituals for the body of Thakur Haridas. The body of Haridasa Thakur was then raised onto a carrier that resembled an airship and taken to the sea, accompanied by congregational chanting. Lord Chaitanya danced in front of the procession, and Vakreshwara Pandit, along with other devotees, chanted and danced behind Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya bathed the body of Haridas in the sea and then declared, "From this day on, this sea has become a great pilgrimage site." Everyone drank the water that had touched the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur, and then they smeared remnants of Lord Jagannath's sandalwood pulp all over Haridas's body. After a hole was dug in the sand, the body of Haridas was placed into it. Remnants from Lord Jagannath, such as his silken ropes, sandalwood pulp, food, and cloth, were placed on the body. All around the body, the devotees performed congregational chanting, and Vakreshwara Pandit danced in jubilation. With his own transcendental hands, Lord Chaitanya personally covered the body of Haridas with sand, chanting, "Haribo! Haribo!" The devotees covered the body of Haridas with sand and then constructed a platform upon the site. The platform was protected all around by fencing. Lord Chaitanya danced and chanted all around the platform, and as the holy name of Hari roared tumultuously, the whole universe became filled with the vibration. After Sankirtan, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed in the sea with his devotees, swimming and playing in the water in great jubilation. After taking a bath in the sea, Lord Chaitanya personally begged prasadam from the prasadam of Lord Jagannath from the shopkeepers, and distributed prasadam to the assembled devotees. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered a benediction to all the devotees, which all the devotees heard with great satisfaction. So here's what Lord Chaitanya said. Anyone who has seen the festival of Srila Haridas Thakur's passing away, anyone who has chanted and danced here, anyone who has offered sand on the body of Haridas, and anyone who has joined this festival to partake of the prasadam will achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. There is such wonderful power in seeing Haridas Thakur. Being merciful upon me, Krishna gave me the association of Haridas Thakur. Being independent in his desires, Krishna has now broken that association. When Haridas Thakur wanted to leave this material world, it was not within my power to detain him, for simply by his will, Haridas Thakur could give up his life and go away exactly like Bhishma, who previously died simply by his own desire, as we have heard from Shastra. Haridas Thakur was the crown jewel on the head of this world, and without him, this world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. Lord Chaitanya then told everyone, repeat, all glories to Haridas Thakur. Chant the holy name, Hari. Saying this, Lord Chaitanya personally began to dance. Everyone began to chant, all glories to Haridas, who revealed the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thereafter, Lord Chaitanya bade farewell to all the devotees, and he himself, with mixed feelings of happiness and distress, took rest. Krishnadas Kaviraj concludes, thus I have spoken about the victorious passing away of Haridas Thakur. Anyone who hears this narration will certainly fix his or her mind firmly in devotional service to Krishna. From this incident, of the passing of Haridasa Thakur, the great care Lord Chaitanya took in commemorating it, one can understand just how affectionate Lord Chaitanya is toward his devotees. Although he is the topmost of all sannyasis, Lord Chaitanya fully satisfied the desire of Haridasa Thakur. When Haridas was at the last stage of his life, Lord Chaitanya gave him his company and allowed Haridas to touch him. Thereafter, Lord Chaitanya took the body of Thakur Haridas on his lap and personally danced with it. Out of his causeless mercy, the Lord personally covered the body of Haridas with sand and personally begged alms from the shopkeepers. Then, Lord Chaitanya conducted a great festival to celebrate the passing away of Haridasa Thakur. Haridas was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great and learned scholar. It was his great fortune that he passed away before Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Haridasa Thakur ki. So, Maharaj, would you like to add anything, supplement the class?
Haribo. There was a book called, maybe you can help me, Prabhu. It's called yeah, thank you. Harinam Chintamani, and it is a conversation, or fabricated conversation, in which Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has written this book, and the conversation is between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridasa Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya asks Haridasa Thakur many questions about the chanting of the holy name, how to achieve the highest benefit, how to lose the benefits if you don't do the right things. And he glorifies it to such an extent that after you read this incredible book, or you hear it, all you want to do is just chant, 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 and chant. So therefore, your class is like a perfect springboard for that book. And I recommend everyone to get it, to read it, absorb oneself in it. If you can't get it, I can always download a copy of my
Suradas, you want to add anything? You're okay? Brigupati. And then we'll see if any of the Matajis want to say. Jai. Anything from the Matajis want to add to the nectar? Anybody else want to add to the nectar? Yes. Does that microphone now work? Him. Sachi Tanoi.
There is an instance in which Haridasa Thakur, when he was sent to prison, and as soon as he arrives to the prison, all the prisoners became enlivened because they had an opportunity to associate with a saintly person. They could acknowledge that here we have an opportunity. But to their surprise, well, they misunderstood. Haridasa Thakur said, "May you all remain like this."
As you are.
As you are. And they go like, oh. So he noticed that, he said, you don't understand. I mean to say, always in this transcendental mood. I'm just paraphrasing. And so that's a very important factor that blessing that he gave. And the association of the pure devotee, just 1 minute of association of pure devotee can save us from many, many troubles.
Yes, in that, I was reading that pastime yesterday. And Haridasa Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces. But it's described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. He didn't feel any pain. Why? What if all? He was protected by Krishna. But he was so absorbed in chanting the holy name. And Vrindavan Das Thakur compares him to Prahlad Maharaj. When Hiranyakashipu tortured Prahlad, Prahlad also didn't feel any pain. And so the sentries who were sent by the Qazi to kill Haridas beat him. After 22 marketplaces, they said, "We don't understand this. An ordinary person would have died after 2 or 3 beatings. You have taken 22. We're going to get in trouble. Can you do so? We're going to get in trouble." So Haridas said, "Oh, okay." So Haridas went into Samadhi and faked his own death so that they wouldn't get into trouble. And then it's explained how Krishna entered the body of Haridas because they were trying to dump him in the Ganges. But Krishna entered his body, he became so heavy, they couldn't do it. Finally, it appears that he did go into the Ganges and he floated down the Ganges. And later on, he revealed himself to the Qazi, and the Qazi couldn't believe it. He said, "Now I understand." Because there wasn't, when he went before the Qazi, Haridas, of course, preached, because not only was he a chanter, but Haridas was a preacher. So he was preaching to the Qazi, and the Qazi wasn't listening to anything. And he said, "Well, if you can survive 22 beatings, then I'll believe you." So there he was. "Hello, here I am." And so the Qazi said, "Okay, I'm convinced you are a great holy man." All right, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Haridasa. 1,728.
So if you divide 300,000 by 1,728, you don't get 192.
Well, he was chanting 3 times 64.
Yeah.
So, at 300,000 was a round figure.
Okay.
He was chanting 3 times 64. That's 192.
Yeah, that's
round figure.
You divide 100,000
Yeah.
by 170.
Yeah.
It's only 57, 58, round figure. So 64.
Three times.